Alright, I should change my thing.
We should be live, so let me just turn on the music.
Check it out.
And yeah. Alright, introductions and all. Hey everyone who's joining us for today. Today we will be quickly reviewing the ARs as well as the skill-specific evolutions that were released for the re-release event for A Fluffy Nightmare in Ueno. Joining me today is Irby.
Hello. I have nothing to say about this.
Quite literally, because he didn't prepare. So we'll see how well he can improvise. Although honestly, I'm not prepared in other aspects. I didn't read a few of the units, but it's fine. It's fine. And also joining us today is the only one who came fully prepared. Actually, that's not she either. Go ahead, Celsius.
Only partly prepared. Only prepared for my bit.
Alright, we'll call this the unprepared discussion stream, aka the idle chatter stream. Which is fine. Like, impressions for this banner art, wasn't super incredible. Some of the evos are neat, but nothing game breaking here. With that said, let us just do our best at improvising this nightmare stream. And we will begin with all in art is light and dark. Oh, that rhymed, I didn't even realize. So this features Kuniyoshi and Licht and Benten in the art, but it's on the Kuniyoshi AR, so you're not going to... My window's open. I should close that out when my part's over. Eventually. Let me just switch to the graphic, which was very not necessary because there's not much to say about this AR. This AR does two things, although they're related to each other in a sense. One is it gives your ally CP in slash range, and two is it gives your enemies, it takes away your enemies' CP. And they're mutually exclusive because you can't have, this two opposite zones within the same row, the enemy zone and the ally zone. So in reality, you'll be choosing one or the other. And as a result, you can actually just outright choose to focus on using this AR for one versus the other. I'd really just recommend this AR for like a few archetypes. ARs that, units that are backline ally charge builders, so Licht being the most quintessential case of that, who can charge allies from the back. But also Ueno, who can give acceleration. And also frontline tanks, because tankier units tend to survive longer, but they also give more time for the enemy to build their charge up. So I'd also recommend it for units such as Halloween Alice or Jambavan Eisen. I mean, Jambavan Eisen isn't quite a traditional tank per se. I think he has Adamantine on debuff, but that's, if that happens, it could be useful. And Fashionista Sagwa would happen to fit both categories. So yeah. Any other additional thoughts on this, you guys?
Well, I think the removing CP without having to hit things is, well, depending on what weapon type you have, it is useful because we hardly ever get that. A lot of the times when I'm trying to look for a unit who drains CP without hitting things, I'm pretty much left with only Marduk, so having that could be useful. There's times where in a CQ, for example, you don't want to hit the enemy. Like in Clash of the Warmongers, you don't want to hit Tezcat because he'll reflect whatever debuff you try and throw at him. So being able to do it without that could possibly be useful, even if it's a shit rate.
Yeah, it's essentially just a bootleg version of Tonte's ability to deplete CP, so that's handy to have in mind.
Oh yeah, he can actually equip this because he's Aether.
I mean, stacking CP gains is like a good idea for obvious reasons to get your charge faster, but stacking CP depletion isn't quite as necessary, which we mentioned before on the stream, just because you only need to prevent it from reaching 100, and reducing more than what's necessary isn't really gonna do more than that for you.
Personally, I think a unit that works both in the front and in the back that could potentially benefit from this as well a lot is Christmas Pollux, for instance. Even though he doesn't actually provide CP, he does have a lot of abilities that require him to miss.
That's true.
And and also on head as well. So he can be both in front and in the back, depending on what you want. So he can take full advantage of the benefits AR.
I think that's a good idea for recommendation. That's an archetype I miss a lot in terms of units that are designed to both miss and hit, like Valentine Kima, as you're familiar with.
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this.
Yeah, but you'll see a common theme in this stream, even though we didn't review too much. My personal thoughts on all the 3 stars are they're actually better than average for 3 stars. I mean, mind you, they're still 3 stars, but
I don't think anything can be worse than that. It's some AR, to be honest.
That was truly the bottom of the barrel for AR design. That would be worthy of like a 2-star AR or even a 1-star AR. I might even find more use for the 1-star Salmon AR than that Ueno one, to be honest. But yeah, I will just read out the comments and then we can proceed to the next one. Yeah, hello Gale and HM Kato, nice eyes. Toji, yeah. Hey Hidden. Oh wow, did I actually manage to catch a stream? Yes, you did. Very nice, very nice. I can send you these what's called graphics later. So it's, Hidden's actually my guy that reviews them, but you know, there's nothing particularly new added to these, so maybe I'll just send them over for you to review for your own purposes. Not really to help me. Hi, good improvising. Very cool. Wait, blue units can't even use it. L to Benten. Yep. Forgotten and in the dust, but it's okay because she'll have her own AR later too. Unprepared stream. You mean this stream might be a nightmare? Yeah, I've had nightmare streams before, except this one's quite on the nose. It's kind of upsetting how this has better CP charge than Ueno League AR. Nothing can be quite as bad as that AR. Never, ever, ever use that AR if you could use another AR in its place.
I speak too quickly.
Am I speaking too quickly?
I mean,
oh.
They could make a worse AR.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the next non-AR.
Oh, please no. I mean, the first 5-star non-AR was okay, like the Kotar one, I guess, but it's not something I'd pull for. These ones are small enough that they are easy to understand, compared to units. Yeah, I guess. Alright, let's move on. We do not need to make this a super long stream, so, if you will, who's responsible for this? Irby, yeah.
I think it's me, yes. The welcome to the Furry Kingdom AR.
Yeah.
So basically this AR, what it does is, even though the text is a bit deceptive, it says it's a 3v3 area. It's a 3v3 area around the unit in front of the unit that has this equipped. So in essence, it's only in reality a 2x3 pull, just like the Hogan Toji AR or the Barghest's Valentine Barghest pull. It has essentially the same pull range. And it does so at 75%, which is pretty decent, and it's automatically on turn start, which is okay. There is, however, an issue with this big, and I think it's personally the issue with this AR is that its restrictions are to thrust units and magic units that can already reach the maximum pull range. So this functionality at least should be used primarily to support other units or to back down on the board if you actually need it with support magic units. It also has another functionality that does not overlap with it, even though you might think that it pulls the units and then charms them. No, this does not happen. The other functionality is to charm enemies in slash range at 50%. This charm cannot apply to the units that have been pulled if they have been pulled. So it is a bit redundant to say the least. I'd say use this on units that potentially already have some sort of disabling ability and that require to be on the front. For instance, Necros 3-star, which can already apply dazzle on phase start to slash range and a unit above to T formation, and also has a chance to charm as well. Even though it's a very low chance, I think this is a pretty generic support AR that doesn't have a lot of potential units that benefit a lot from it. in my honest opinion. Usually with pull ARs, we've had them on units that actually benefit from the pull themselves, like slash units that can pull units closer to them so they can hit them, or thrust units pulling units way further above them just so they can reach them. But this doesn't seem very useful for the actual units that can equip them. Even Kuniyoshi and Kushi only have thrust and magic ranges on both their regulars and their variants. So there's not a lot of millage you're going to get from this pull for these units themselves.
Yeah, just to re-emphasize, I may have missed the very beginning because I was closing my window, but just to re-emphasize, just in case, again, the charm happens first, then the pull. So you're not going to be pulling units in and then having like all three of them charmed. If there's no one in front of you in the very beginning of the turn, but they're in reach for the pull, you're only going to charm who's directly in front of you, so you're pretty much not going to charm anyone. So it's really silly when it's listed in this order. But it's just a special property of like how like statuses are applied, and blowback is always applied after every other status. So even though it's listed here first, it's actually applied last.
Do you know if unit skills go first or if ARs go first?
ARs go first.
ARs go first. Always.
Oh, okay, never mind then. I was going to suggest using it on Fashion Matsumara, who has a short range pull on turn start, but that doesn't work. To give him a bootleg 2 range pull, or 3 range 2 square pull, but never mind, I guess.
Yeah, I would recommend this like pretty much same units that already mentioned: T-Stone, Keystone, T-Formation, Keystone units. So essentially units that are like in the vertex of the T-Formation. Kimun Kamui is a good example because like he has that protection going on. Then there's Horus, and I'd even recommend Kushi regular just because besides his count, and he actually does have that tenacity spread, I believe, or was it pressure? I think it's tenacity spread whenever he moves, so that's pretty decent for him. Ikutoshi regular for just because he has that evasion on phase start with his Evo. Is Jambavan a tank? He kind of is, right? With Curse, right? A Nightmare Jambavan.
I guess if you move him, is the curse before or after taking damage?
I think it's after, but
We're very
yeah. It's after taking damage, but it's something. And then there's
I mean, it's supposed to cut tank, so
there's also Christmas Takamaru, who applies Unction, I believe. Shiva 5, who he has tank ability, right? I feel like he can tank, but I can't remember. And Yasuyori, his Christmas variant, that is. So there are some units that are like magic range who are, who can decently tank in the front, and this would be a decent AR for it. And that's pretty much all my thoughts.
Why is there an alt bleacher at the bottom?
You don't see that.
Why is there what?
There's nothing. Don't worry about it.
I want to do it.
Don't worry about it. I don't know what you're talking about. And anything else for this AR, guys?
No.
No, not really.
Okay, go ahead and read the comments, Irving.
Why would you want a pull range on a magic unit that might even pull people out of your range? Yeah, it would.
I mean,
as I said before, it's probably primarily for support units to pull the units closer to your other units that have smaller range.
You could also, ignoring their range, you could consider units that are, designed to be hit, like Maria. So it could be decent on her too.
Doesn't that pull actually fuck up the one of the grind quests because it pulls them out of magic formation?
Yeah, it does.
It's a good thing I don't have any of this AR and Kuniyoshi. Sag.
It seems like more of an inconvenience they are, but who knows? Maybe someone will find some good use out of it. Why would you want to add charm on enemies with Kushi when he have to be hit to activate countdown? Yeah, that is a very good question. He can also trigger countdown through other means, but yeah, that's he does already have charm on his CS, so I guess if you want to use Kushi as a charm bot for some reason, I don't know. I mean, Charm on Slash might be useful on units that already can pull like Homebred, but yeah, pretty much. But even if you do pull, you're still going to have to wait for the next turn to take advantage of that charm, because since it's an AR ability, it's going to trigger first.
Yeah.
Boy, I just noticed top Lisa at the bottom left of the stream. Oh, so that was it.
Alp Lisa doesn't exist.
That said, another belly AR. Hey, cute. Also morning. And that is it.
Good morning, good morning. Alright, let's move on to the next AR. The other 5-star in the Flower of Reuse, if you will, Saugus.
Okay, did you pull up my asset or?
It's over here.
Okay. So this is the other 5-star AR, and it's I would say it's a lot more useful easily than the Kuniyoshi Kuchi one. So it has arousal to allies around on move. It's at a okay rate of 60%. We've had much worse, so this is a decent base rate. Arousal doesn't scale with level, so it's full power from the beginning, so that's nice too. It's mainly useful for triggering on buff effects or after buff effects, but it's also useful for just generating CP, because 10 per turn is pretty nice, and you can definitely use it like while stalling or whatnot. It also has CS multiplier +2, and this is the first AR that we have for fire units that gives a +2 multiplier. We already had one for Infernal, but I should have put who can equip this on here. Oh well, we learn as we go. But yeah, as the first AR with +2 CS damage for fire units, obviously any fire units relying on CS will want it. I just realized I didn't put any Infernal units for CS damage as well. Whoops. Anyway, so since you have the arousal in a nice area on move, anyone who moves a lot and buffs units will like it. So as you can see there, Aizen, Idsamna, Sertra, and Festival Ryota. I also could have put Valentine's Bar Guest, but I couldn't be bothered to rearrange it at that point. They all give lots of buffs. Some of them give CP. I think the only one who doesn't give CP there is... No, Idsamna and Ryota don't give CP to allies, so you can supplement that. Aizen and Sertra already give CP, but you can give even more with this, and they all give defensive buffs and whatnot. So that's nice. And for CS damage, I just pull up some fire units who rely, or who are supposed to do a lot of damage with their CS. So Nightmare Durga, Gumao, Virtual Summon Memory, Hombre Tigre, Fuga, and Valentine's Mori. They all have pretty...
What's his range again? Hombre Tigre is on charge.
Thrust.
Oh, it's okay.
Well, he has crit, and yeah, he has crit on it, so he'll do damage, certainly, as I have tested before. But besides that, there's not too much to say. It's pretty simple. Yeah, pretty much just put on units like that. I have nothing else to say.
I see. The only thing I mean, this is a fairly simple AR. In comparison, compared to the Gabriel Hati AR, which gives 5 CP at 80% to adjacent units, then you can see this AR in many ways is objectively better. It gives a status, so people with afterbuffs can take advantage of that, which is usually just more CP. And it is 10 CP, which is, just more than 5 CP, so greater on average. And it's on a larger spread too, so this is just a better card for most long-term cases overall. Although there might be some situations where you want to use like Gabriel Hati AR instead. Like if Leanne can't equip this, I guess. So yeah, that's.
Or if you already have someone that can destroy arousal as well.
Yeah, that's pretty much. It's kind of like a slightly better version of it. And other than that, I only have other units to recommend for it. Taurus Mask, his Christmas variant, is kind of a meme because it gives a whole bunch of mediocre non-damage buffs like Spirit and stuff like that. And this is one more of those that he can add, so he can be a really like a god for giving buffs to activate after buff effects. And I guess Kotaro 5 because he moves a lot for evasion, and Oniwaka regular 5 as well. But other than that, yeah, not too much to say.
I thought this was a pretty neat AR for August, at least, because CS can actually is potentially good.
Irby, my dear, closer to the
What?
mic, if you will.
Okay, is it better now?
Yes.
I thought this was a great AR for August 4 at least. He already bestows arousal, but it's only when attacking. So if you can actually equip it when he does his on move and changes to weapon change none, you can still bestow arousal with this AR to the units around him, while also still maintaining his defensive buffs and and can also take advantage of the CS multiplier.
Yeah, he actually hits pretty hard for his charge.
I thought Sanat Kumara as well could be pretty useful if you're using him as well for the movement and protection.
I was actually thinking of putting August on here as well, but I already had the page so full that I just said, oh, whatever.
Just like resize them, but it's fine, I guess.
I already increased the size of the units because I thought they were too small.
It's fine. Tsukiyomi would also fit here for obvious reasons, but there's a bunch of units out. It's literally any unit would benefit from a stronger charge, and that's like a large category, so it's kind of arbitrary who to include you at this point.
It's primarily for the charge and not the arousal for most cases.
Yep. Anyway, there's not too much to discuss about this AR, so I'm just gonna... No one else has anything to say, so I'm just gonna let Salgas read out the comments. Go ahead.
Where were we?
Somewhere.
Morning. We were at morning.
Yes, we were.
Oh, a CS multiplier fire AR, that's the first. Yeah, that's correct. I actually made a list because I was so fed up of having to look back through them every single time. I could really use that AR. I only have one AR with the CS plus effect. Yeah, I wish I had more 5-star ARs because those +2 multipliers are very nice. More utility for Exam with Q AR. Now he can also see a CP charge, love the grandpa. Yeah, it's useful for that, definitely. It patches up one support part he's missing. And of course, just pulled the banner and got the other AR. I never used Examna when I got him. Perhaps you should. He's very good. Yeah, use him. He is so good. Oh my god, did I hit Valentine's Bar Guest? Yeah, but unfortunately I put Festival Rio instead.
Oh. Do you not have Itsamna?
No,
Actually, you do.
Someone saying I never used Examna when I got him. Law is saying that.
So,
Aren't you reading the comments with me?
I am, but you mentioned about Ryota. I was like, what?
What?
You said
No.
something about putting up Ryota instead.
No, I did I hear Valentine's Bar Guest, and then I said, yeah, I was thinking about putting him there, but I put Festival Rio
I see.
instead.
I guess it's better for Ryota. I guess.
Which ARs have +2 CS? Hang on, let me bring on my list.
Oh my god.
What?
Do you have a written list or do you have an image list?
I have a written list, so good
No
luck
one's
with
gonna
that.
recognize the names. Forget about it.
But
It's fine,
Fine.
Douglas. You can
Fine.
prepare a list and maybe next discussion I can share it. But no one's gonna remember half of the names you mentioned, and that's not what the
Single
stream is for
ballpark.
anyways. We're gonna go now, so let's just go to the next part of the discussion. Treasure every meeting, which features Kuniyoshi and Benten. It's pretty simple AR in terms of everything is stacked into attack as well as it has that CS multiplier. So really, it's just a nice damage booster with that. So for the same reasons you'd want to equip the previous AR we talked about was Durga, you'd want to equip this AR for just the damage boost. And it also has anger strengthening, which I'm pretty sure no one strategizes around, so I made no specific recommendations. But also because I was looking through the units and it seemed like, I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily want to go out of my way to bring two specific units together that have anger based on who is applicable. But yeah, anger, if you don't know, is a relationship status, just like love and envy and like, where if you move a unit who has a pre-established relationship with another unit, then the unit in question will get a certain buff the anger buff gives a 1.11 times damage multiplier, which is kind of extremely pathetic. It's the worst damage buff in the game by far. But and stacking it with this won't really make much of a difference. I'll just increase to like 1.67ish, something like that. And the funny thing about this AR is it's not even guaranteed, which is really strange. So it's like you're gonna benefit from anger strengthening only 80% of the time for the entire battle, and then the other 20% of the time it'll just fail randomly. It's kind of a really extremely stupid pointless restriction. LifeWonders, you should really just stop making like on leave and on appearance effects have anything less than 100% because it's just ridiculous. It's stupid.
I think the reason they did this is because they really couldn't give this AR a scaling property with this, because the other effect is the CS multiplier, so they had to make it scaling just so it could scale with
I mean, it scales, every AR scales with the attack bonus, so that should be fine in itself. Just 8 I get what you mean, but this was not the way to do it. Please, LifeWonders, end this on-arrival bullshit that is less than 100%. It is stupid, and like, I vaguely understand for immunities, but on-arrival things you're just wasting the entire battle at that point for bringing this AR. It's a wasteful slot for 20% of the time, essentially. It's dumb. But yeah, that's too much of thoughts on that. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't recommend any specific for it because it's just a huge category of units, and even then, you're gonna be building teams that aren't necessarily built towards a specific function, more towards lore. If you like lore-based teams, sure, go ahead and bring this AR, I suppose. But yeah, just bring it to anyone who can actually take advantage of the anchor status. And on damage dealers, this AR, at least and very least, is a decent damage stat boost. Although we already have a few like that already. Especially the more recent Claude Guildmaster AR, which gives 500 attack instead. But yeah, this has the CS multiplier, I guess, so do with that as you will. Yep, those are all my thoughts on this. You guys?
There are no thoughts.
There are no thoughts here.
Okay.
It's so simple that you pretty much covered every eventuality. It's like, yeah.
Well, I can't blame you, so I'm just gonna read the comments.
Also, we already had ARs for water, wood, and nether that give a CS multiplier +1. So yeah, it's not unique in that respect either.
All right, fresh off your memory after making that list, huh?
I will be referencing that a lot in the coming streams,
okay,
probably.
Okay, just prepare something visual next time.
Oh, you.
All right. Where were we in the comments last? Lots of cards.
What ARs have 2 CS?
Alright.
+2 CS.
And then I cut you off because, no way. There's a lot of ARs, so I'm not gonna let you read that all out. I've stopped pulling ARs in case of Year of the Tiger gets ARs. I mean, it definitely will get ARs. The Durga one made me want to pull, but it literally cried if I got a Kushi 5-star. I mean, hey, the Kushi 5-star AR is actually something I would personally want because, again, I mentioned this in a few previous streams, but the Aoyama Catacomb Cemetery dungeon has a Valiant Angel in like fucking like phase 5, which is 1 square away from reach of Jean and Triton, so it's really unpleasant to deal with. To reach him, you have to eliminate every single other mob in the way by bring them to 0 HP and then removing their guts, which is just such a pain in the ass and totally not worth it for mentor runs. So I really want any kind of pulling AR, and pulling ARs would include this. I mean, not this one, the previous one. But we should be talking about this one, not the previous one. Single bulls on Toji Ryota. I'm pretty sure that's where we stopped off, I think, but whatever. I have that AR on my main account. Nice. I could equip this on Nomad, so he has benefits of being near Mako, I suppose. Equip this on anyone that hates this police guy with red hands. Tajikaro. Who hates Tajikaro? Corporate hates him, I'm pretty sure.
It's hated by like 4 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Suzuka Gyobu.
Oh yeah, because like everyone hates him.
There was one other character.
Poor Tajikaro, can't catch a break. I think this is my favorite AR in the banner in terms of use. Really? Well, it's lore-based. Not my favorite. I really don't like lore-based teams, but I know that there's a lot of people that do, so more power to you guys. No thoughts, head empty. Alright. Oh, Suzuka dislikes that police, and I forgot his name again. Tajikaro. Hi, here, what did I miss? You missed nothing of too great importance. Just some questionable 5-star ARs, and some pretty neat 3-star ARs, which we'll actually continue with right now with the Lonely Prankster. If you will, Irby, I think.
Wait, it was Yasuyori who also dislikes Taji.
For real?
Yeah, 4 people.
Yeah, okay. It would be good on Taji then. If you can equip. Can you equip it? Yeah, you can equip it. Alright, we'll call it the Tajikara AR from now on. Alright, go ahead, Irby. I think this is you. Which
the Lonely Prankster AR. Okay, this AR is very specifically catered to Alp for some reason.
Closer to the mic, please. I'm sorry, Irby.
Alright, is it better now?
It's perfect. Thank you.
It's perfect? Okay. This AR was specifically designed for Alp for some reason, even though it isn't really that helpful. Basically, it allows him to get the extra 20 CP that his 4-star needs to reach 100 CP on the very first turn of the battle. Alp basically has a phase start 80 CP on appearance, and this AR allows him to get 20 CP at 100%, even if you only have 1 copy at this, for him to reach 100. Even though there are plenty of other ways that you can get his CP up, it's only 20 CP. It's very easy to get with other ARs or ruler skills or whatever. There's other ways to do this. The other reason why I think this was specifically catered to Alp was because it has a 50% chance on the exact turn 3 of every phase to apply taunt to Alp. Even though taunt, I don't really know why Alp has taunt, to be honest, because he doesn't benefit from it at all.
Yeah.
But he does have taunt. Yeah. But he does have taunt. I think this is personally a better skill suited for Hombre Tigris summer variant, because he does have phase start taunt, I believe, and taunt has 2 turns duration. So if he doesn't manage to get his CS up by turn 3 of a phase, this AR can give him an extra chance to give him the taunt right after his current taunt expires. So this can be neat to keep his taunt strengthening going. It could be pretty decent in my opinion. Other units that could probably benefit from this taunt status are units that require to get hits to take benefit of their skills. For instance, Fenrir, even though no one uses Fenrir anymore. Kushi, for instance, to trigger his countdown, or even Echo if you really want. I don't know. These are personally the ones that I thought that could be substantially beneficial out of this. And yeah, that is pretty much it. I don't have a lot to say. The when appearing 20 CP is pretty neat, but it's only slightly higher than the phase start CP AR that we have right now. So
you mean for like the highest we have to self is 15 CP on a 4-star, so this is higher than that.
It's slightly higher, but it's only when appearing. That is the problem, because the other ones are all on phase start.
Yeah, no, the utility boost AR. Some ARs would be better for multiple phases. This is good for like battles that only have maybe one or two phases, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, at least that effect, at least.
Yeah.
The turn start effect is for long-term balance.
Yep. Full agreement. Zalgus,
that is pretty much.
Yes, I agree.
Also, I forgot to mention another unit that could potentially benefit from the taunts. It's actually Naja.
Close to the mic, Kirby. Who would benefit from taunt?
Naja. She does.
Oh yeah, paralysis.
They do have paralysis, and they move the units to the opposite side of her while she moves herself out of the way, or themselves out of the way. So it could be potentially neat to stall that way. Punch the unit and then get away from it before it can reach you again.
Yeah, those are some good choices. I would personally also, in addition, recommend, well, kind of as a meme, Jacob, because, you know, Jacob seems to be good at being able to bring enemies one by one already, and taunt would help with that a bit. And also having some extra CP on his start could help him get his charge faster too. I would say Arslan too, but then he'd have to use Arslan, so yeah, that's pretty much it.
I'm using Arslan.
Unction strengthening. Weakening.
Hey, I made it work, kind of. That's me.
It was a good try.
Well, proof of concept that at least it wasn't bugged. Anyway, we're done talking with this, so go ahead and read the comments if you will.
Where did we leave off again?
Always the question.
Did Yasuyori hate Tajikaro, I think?
Alright. Man, if only that arousal was remove bind on move. God damn it. This is a reference to something that happened in the server.
What happened in the server?
Basically, Gerber tried to make a fan kit with remove bind on move, and I told him that that wouldn't be possible. Because yes. Haha, I got it right. I don't know what you got right, Lo, but
Yasuyori. Dislike
oh,
it.
Yasuyori. Ah, nice. Oh, it was from the previous one.
Someone should make a meme of like take a official art of everybody hates Chris, but then replace Tajikaro's face with the main character.
No. Cute. Oh, whoa, Alp. Oh, look, another blow privilege AR. Yeah, there's a lot of blow privilege on these ARs for some reason.
Yeah, LifeWonders does its work with these blow ARs. You could even say they do pretty good blow jobs, so respect to them. Anyway.
Broke, give it to Alp. Woke, Echo CS spam. I don't know, I'd say the woke option is actually using it with Hombre Tigre, summer variant. At least Taunt can somehow benefit Kushi, I guess. Yeah, he does have
True.
after being skills.
I forgot that
hello?
Kushi was recommended. He's on yard. Yeah.
Hello. Also, how did Alp draw crayon on Kushi's fur? I know, people have been talking about that. No one knows how he managed to draw on fur with crayons. It will forever be a mystery.
It's like glitter paint or something. That looks
No, they're actually crayons. No one uses Fenrir. I feel attacked. I mean, I don't use his 3-star, which is the only one who can use this. Yeah, pretty much. That was the one I mentioned. No one uses that. Hombre Tigre is the only person I think makes use of the turn 3 taunt explicitly. Well, there are other ways you can make use of taunt without taunt strengthening.
You know,
but
Taunt's
yeah,
been out for
Hombre-
like over a year now, and I still haven't really found it particularly useful.
Yeah, but
It's just like
it can be useful.
the idea of taunt can be useful, but then it's like the only way you can make it useful is if your team is super spread far out apart, which is generally not what you want to do.
I don't know. Sometimes it works. Like that Furufumi Christmas Kalki strategy.
Did you use taunt there? Who would have taunt in that?
No, I didn't use taunt there, but it would have been really neat to have it.
I guess. True.
In something similar like that.
For
wait,
meme, even though that was completely a meme clear. Yes, this AR is perfect for memes. There you go.
There you go. Wait, all Arslan equips that AR. Oh yeah, right, he does. Amazing. I don't think it helped
Halloween. Does Halloween also exist though?
I mean, you can get CS spam with him if you hit 5 units. Wow, with his CS.
I'm surprised you remember that.
He has like magic range charge, but then I don't remember what. Like it's like guts from his evo, and then
I don't know the rest of his kit.
He gains a lot of CP for each hit of his CS, and also gains combo, so which means he gets a blow hit after the magic range, so he can fully charge. He can fully charge if he hits 5 units.
Okay, something to consider. Keep reading out. We're spending a bit too much on this 3-star. Let's go.
Blow needs the help. I use 3-star Fenrir, not much different from his regular 4-star. Oh, and even a Nombre effect too. That's actually hard to do. Gengo utility, it helps him die faster.
True, cannot deny this.
He can't equip it though.
His regulars can.
Oh, he's regular, yeah. But why would you want that?
I mean, his regulars are decent. He has fucking infinitude.
No, but why would you? Why would you want him to die? He doesn't have a limit.
Just use Leanon.
Ask Tetsuya why Kengo wants to die.
No, not Tetsuya.
Anyways, did you want to read out the last two, or should I just go to the next one?
I read it. Imagine, remember Arslan for anything other than his art bod. Yeah, true. His kid's kind of trash.
I'll remember him for his action strengthening, weakening, whichever one it is.
Yeah, that is a very good meme.
His only thing is, like, every single time he appears in a story, he's a complete clown. And makes fun of Zabania for being the opposite. But anyway, let's just go on to the next one.
I mean, he appeared in that one chapter with Michael Jackson.
Jackson?
Yes, and had a serious talk. I forget what happened exactly, but it was a serious talk, I think.
What the heck?
I don't know, do you remember that? He was talking
No.
with Michael.
No,
He was talking with who? Michael. Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, I remember. Chapter 10.
I do not remember this.
Did you do a stream?
I
Completely
didn't-
forgot.
Chapter 10 was, I don't know, it was like Warmongers or something, and it's fine, it's not important. Anyways, let's just move on. The Great Fluffy Clash of Dreams, featuring Kuniyoshi and Alp. This is also a very simple 3-star AR.
I was doing it.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Nagas. My bad.
Thank you for changing the SS. There we go. Right, so this AR it gives you a mini version basically of Kuniyoshi's personal advantage effect. So a 1.5 multiplier against anyone with Blood of the Beast or in Beast's clothing, which used to be known as Pelt Coiler, I think, which is basically Blood of the Beast plus. I don't know why they didn't just make Blood of the Beast plus. And it also gives you a really reliable turn start effect of healing. It's 150 HP at 80% at level 1, which is like, it's actually kind of ridiculous how high rate that is. I don't think we have another AR quite like it.
There's the 4-star AR with Shenong and Guillemot. That might be at a slightly lower rate, but it heals a substantial amount more. I think it's 300 HP instead, but I can't remember specifically.
Well, I unfortunately do not remember that because I didn't bother looking it up. Oh well. Anyway, so the advantage effect is kind of it's a bit of a meme, since the last unit that we got with Blood of the Beast was Oz, which was what, 2 new semesters ago.
That was 2 years ago, yes.
Okay.
And the last one with in Beast's clothing was Licho, and before that it was.
Didn't you say that
Late.
Licho didn't have it?
He has Pelt Coiler.
No.
I said Alp didn't have it because.
Yeah, Alp definitely doesn't have it. That was always big.
And the others with Pelt Coiler or in Beast clothing is Labe and Nightmare Jambavan. So the advantage effect is not really that useful because it's not really that applicable. And also in like challenge quests, a lot of the time they have unique kits that don't include vanilla skills like this, so probably won't even be useful there. The turn start healing effect though is much more useful because it's so reliable. Honestly, it can be used on anyone when you expect to take damage, which is, usually, unless you're going for strats where you just blow them up before they can retaliate. But for units who actually want to get hit, Echo is one of them, because she can already heal herself, but she has to miss to do so, which she can't while she's in all range. So you can supplement her healing, because she always has to get hit anyway to turn on her all range. So she's one. And who else did I put? I didn't actually have my notes open. Nyarlathotep, who he evades, but sometimes he fails that. So you can. He's supposed to get hit to fear and curse the enemies. I think it was curse. Well, fear's the more important part. So you could equip this on him for a bit of healing. And Jambaru Kagutsuchi, who I believe he. I forget what he does when he gets hit now. Was it healed his allies or CP to his allies?
Which unit?
Jamboree Kagetsuchi.
I think it's a heal now.
I've never used Jamboree Kagetsuchi even once.
I don't
not
have
milk.
it.
I completely forgot what I should have written it in my notes, but yes, Jamboree Kagetsuchi is supposed to get hit to buff his allies somehow, so he can use it too. And there's plenty of other units who could use it, but pretty much if you expect to get hit at any point, you can use this AR.
Yeah, it fits a large archetype of units. Tanks, which is like a lot of units, evaders, so even Pulse would fit in this. And of course, Echo, like you said, anyone who's taunt or wants to get hit. It's like huge swaths of categories. And even Ryota would benefit from this too. Regular Ryota anyways. Because one of the glaring things about him is he doesn't have any way to heal himself. So there's another AR that allows him to hit on attack, and now you have another option for it too, with this turn start effect. Anything you would like to add, Irby?
I have nothing to add to this.
Very honest man.
There's nothing to say. There's nothing to say about it really.
Yeah. Other than
if you get the evolutions, it doesn't work anymore.
no, other than the art is really creepy.
I think it's nice.
I don't really like it. Kuniyoshi's face is something's off.
I mean, Kuniyoshi has not been depicted once properly in any of these arts, so it's fine.
Oh wait, no, I know this illustrator. He did a chapter in a Shino thing I read, and I hated that chapter. Well,
like a Dojin collection or something.
Yeah, it was the Jiro Dojin collection, and I wouldn't say I hated his chapter, but I definitely noticed that I didn't really like the art as much as the other chapters.
I mean, Alp looks pretty cute here, round and fluffy.
Yeah, Alp does.
It's fine, it's fine. Okay, let's not prolong this. Go ahead and read the comments.
Hotboard. I mean, Aslan's normal 4-star still has some utility, but he needs a second variant. There are many units who need a second variant, and Aslan should not be first in the queue. That is my opinion. I remember him for the fact that he's all oily. Yep. Chapter 10 too long, I don't remember Jack. Same. A comic background. Oh yeah, for this. Oh yeah, it is a comic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's neat.
I didn't notice that. Stream buffered a bit on me.
I have 0 drop frames. It's your fault. I'm sorry. I deny it is my problem.
Does this stack additively or multiplicatively on Kuniyoshi in case you really need to kill for it? It should be a multiplicative, because I believe all
They've always been
multipliers.
multipliers, yeah.
Yeah.
You
The
can
only thing
just mouse over the extra attack thing on the wiki and you'll see it. Says the general case says it always just multiplies.
I think the only time it's additive would just be for the CS multipliers from ARs, I think. And I guess Spirit and whatnot, but that's flat damage. Blood of the Beast Plus, can you imagine how many units would need to run that skill quest? Not actually that many. I went through the list, and because they haven't added any in so long, honestly, proportionally their numbers have dropped a lot. Oz, I would have that opinion if his kit wasn't so disappointing. Licho also has in Beast Clothing. Yeah, he was the last unit to get it, so we have a grand total of 3 units with it, 4 if you count both labs. And all Maria equips the AR. Yeah, she's supposed. I don't remember what she does in her variant, but her regular version is supposed to get hit. So
She does like Ardor or something. I forgot.
I think she has Dragonborn as well for some reason, which even though she's not.
Maria likes to die in her variant.
Yes.
She can deal really high damage, but she dies. She just dies after that.
I remember Jamboree Kagetsuchi increases his own CP. I think he does. I only remember him and what's his face, Christmas Yasuori making too much noise. Jinji Ito Glyceride AR. What? Hello, Milk.
What the heck? Junji Ito is that horror.
I know. Yes, it's the horror thing with this hole is made for me, and the somehow got trapped under the house's support beam, and whatnot. Can't wait for the hyper-specific challenge quest next event. Xmas 2020 vibes. In conclusion, a banner that's not worth pulling, TBH, except for the Durga Gunzo AR. Kind of.
I want the
At least.
Kuniyoshi Kushi one. But then again, I want an Pokemon R.
You have better choices, 4-star choices.
Yeah.
At least there are.
Jesus Christ.
At least there are no limited ARs, so you can get all the ARs. Well, there are the New Year's ones and the thingamabob. Yeah, shop ones.
Yeah, this one is limited one. The Claude one.
Oh yeah, the current one in the shard shop, the ranking XP, Claude Licht Maria one is limited. Make sure to get that, everyone. Don't you remember? Jesus was a dragon.
Also, Maria doesn't have Dragonborn. She has a different version of it. It's called Melon Splitter.
Oh. No. Okay, I guess. Why are they... Is it even better rate, or is it like the same?
What is the rate for Dragonborn again?
It's like 64 or something.
Oh, it's a lot lower than that, but it restores HP.
I might be thinking of Excavator.
Maybe. Alright, last comment, then let's move on.
I already read that.
Well, except for the shop one. Alright.
Yeah, I read that.
Okay. This AR is done. Let's move on to Jambavan, whose Evo is upgrading his Fiercely Tearful to Fierce Tears of amid Lotus Flowers. And it's kind of a very basic upgrade, so much so that I struggled to really comment on it, which is fine because I picked it because it was easy, to be honest, but it's fine. Essentially, what it... I don't really need to go through the specifics of what it upgraded. I really only need to just say what it did overall. Curse is better because it's at a slightly higher rate now. This is like right after he struck. And in addition to cursing the unit that struck him, it will also now curse the units adjacent to the enemies adjacent to those enemies that struck him. So a safer spread now. Can preemptively curse them before they hit him, and if at least one of them hits him. And in addition to that, he becoming a bit more defensive, he also becomes a bit more offensive as well, with a limit on move. And that limit fairly complements him all, just because he'll get his charge up and then he'll get guts, and guts and limit are the classic pairing because, you know, limit is maximized the closer you have your HP to 0, and guts just prevents you from actually reaching 0, so that's neat. But yeah, there's really no new rules here. He's stronger, and both defensively and offensively. And I guess he's a bit more self-sufficient in damage. Yeah, not much to say here. Consider moving him to on charge turn itself, since he's gonna get his charge fairly often, and if he's gonna get his charge, make his charge stronger too, obviously. Yeah, that's pretty much it. One of the more basic heroes, but it's
I like
not
that skill seed bait.
Yeah, 90%, of course. It's not a bad evolution, it's just, it doesn't give him a new role. It's just a very, like, basic upgrade, to be honest. Anything else for you guys would like to add?
Not really. Like you said, it's very basic. If you want Jambavan to do more damage, just use this then.
Yeah, to be honest, I saw this Evo and I just saw, oh, he has limit now. That's the skill evolution. Okay, sure, next. That's it.
Okay, fair enough. If that's really everything, which is extremely sad for an entire section, then I'll just read out the comments already.
It's shorter than the 3-star ARs because we have less to talk about. There isn't really synergy here because it's just...
I mean, the thing is, it doesn't add new synergies. There's obviously synergy with Jambavan, but who he synergized before does not change now. So there's nothing new here. It's better, but it's not new. Okay, then I will just extend the time so that this section isn't quite as short. I'm kidding, I'm just gonna read the comments. Let's see. Dragonborn is 40%. Hey, nice.
I guess I was thinking of Excavator then.
I happen to know just because I use Protagonist decent med. Law says yes, and I'm sorry, but the section is already over because there's nothing to talk about. And Enemy Wolf would like to know his location. Oh yeah, I guess it wouldn't be anti-synergy to base both. But then again, that's a really specific case, and he has his own curse anyways. I'll probably seed him because I'm Crash. I guess. A lot of people like Jambavan for some reason.
I mean, it would be good for him anyway because it would ensure his combos 100% too. Well, I forget if it's 90%, but it'll be higher rate at least.
It's 80% because of course it's 80%. Let's see. His CP attack is so useful for me. You mean his charge attack? Yeah. I helped people build teams around Jambavan before, and you know he can be a board wiper if you build him properly. But that's just anyone with an orange charge, to be honest. Super Mescal Evo. His damage is still low without support. Okay, so someone's actually tested on that. Thank you for letting us know. You know, it just makes him stronger, but I didn't really know in terms of, you know, practical values how much stronger he is. So if you still think it's anime, then that's a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. How many did you miss, or did you talk a lot? I mean, we are talking okay amount, but you know, you missed most of it, and it's kind of simple anyway, so don't worry about it. See your faves, nearly all. They are all on skill evos. Yeah. Yep, there is a playback. Go ahead and check that out. And let us just move on super quickly away from Jambavan to Durga. If you will, Kirby, completely prepared for this 100%. Those complex.
Prepared for this. No, I actually have been using Durga at least a lot, and I think this is probably the most interesting skill evolution of the batch, or actually the most interesting thing to talk about in the whole stream, probably, because it did give a lot more utility to Durga. Basically, it's a skill evolution for hard hitter to Asura Pander, or however you pronounce it. There's a lot of things happened here. Weakness became 100%, which is amazing. She also gained an extra damage buff against weakness affected enemy, which will potentially increase her damage even more. But this 1.67 multiplier wasn't done randomly. It was primarily because she also gained on move combo at 90%. So if people don't know how this variant of Durga works, she basically pushes herself back after hitting a unit if she doesn't have anyone below her. So if you potentially want her to be pushed back and go to a safer zone, even if she does have this combo on her, she'll still deal approximately the same damage as she would, because combo does have a lower multiplier, and it does reduce your damage by 0.6% for each hit, that is. So since she would be hitting one unit and moving back, this weakness advantage helps her maintain her damage. But of course, you can also just put a unit behind her, so she manages to hit the unit twice and deal even more damage, a lot more damage than usual, which is pretty neat. She's going to be able to blow up units in low range if you really want. And she also gained a new form of utility on miss, which is CP bestowal, 2 allies, 1 square around herself. Unfortunately, it's only 70%, but this is actually pretty neat because it gives her
a lot
additional
of complexity, I would say.
Yes, as well. You can use her to attack a unit and go back and then charge all your units, or you can potentially use her just to charge as well, if you really want.
Yeah, you have 3 different attacking modes here, depending on how you arrange them, which you can elaborate.
I think honestly, to be completely fair, I think there are a lot better units to perform this CP bestowal role, especially with the right ARs.
I mean, yeah,
because this on miss CP bestowal, even though it's a very high rate of 70%, it's still 70%. It's not that great. It's unfortunate that she can't give herself a glint, but oh well. If she could, this would be very helpful. But yeah, that is pretty much my unprepared thoughts for it.
I have a number of things to say about this. Even though I barely got a chance to review this on my own time, we actually started. Everyone joined in voice chat while I was still writing notes for Durga, so I'm not fully prepared for it. But yeah, there's when she has her combo up, there's 3 ways you can play with her. You can decide to hit the unit twice if you have a unit behind her to prevent her from moving back. You can decide to hit a unit once and then move away to miss. So you can
Or anchor.
Okay, calm down, Tom. Jeez, anchor of course, or you could I guess invest everything in supporting and just do a double miss to bestow CP to everyone. So of course she's not the best CP bestower, but the thing is she's not just a CP bestower, right? So if for some reason you want a team that can alternate between like giving CP and then being more offensive to single targets, then Durga is a pretty good choice, I would say. And again, since she has weakness and at a guaranteed rate, I'd yet again recommend Eta for Gunzo. This is fucking Evo that gives him 4 times advantage against it. It also helps that he actually has a extended vertical movement, so that for whatever reason, if you don't want to move Durga, or if she can't move, you can move around Eta instead. Both so that she's directly behind her, or as well as like 2 squares behind her, so that she can still move backwards.
Did we already say CSing and then punching them with the rage buffs?
I mean, that's just her basic hit, but
yeah. Well, now she can do it with combo, and so she can do it. Because before, without combo, she could only CS and then do nothing. But now she can CS. She has rage. They have rage, and then with combo, punch them with a full powered weakness punch.
And then comes the giant fist.
And pull herself back to safety again, since she's going to have rage, so she's going to take more damage as well if units survive.
Yeah, put the taunt on her.
which is very likely because her CS isn't the strongest in my opinion, unless you have a lot of dupes.
The thing is, yeah, it's
very
good in terms of scaling because it double scales, but it's at base it's not super amazing.
It's only like a 1.25, isn't it?
I mean,
for rate.
25.
Yeah, but if you have both of them, that's pretty high together. That's like 8 times or something.
It's what, 1.25? It's 1.25 times 1.25 is 1.5.
I'm saying if you have her max, so if you're a super mega whale for whatever reason.
Oh yeah, that's what is that 2.5 by 2.5 by 6. Yeah, well.
In other words, if you're a whale, maybe Durga's worth your time.
No, I don't think so. Whale for Kotaro instead.
Yeah, to be honest.
If you wailed for Kuniyoshi and got Durga SA maxed, hey, amazing.
Oh my God. You're cutting some what's called. You're really cutting it close there, Ruby. A lot of people have been scarred by Durga in the server.
I don't know.
Scarred like you got scarred by Kuma.
I don't have a lot to say about this, to be honest.
Okay, well, if that's the case, let's just move on and go ahead and read the comments.
I really like the weakness 100% though. I would expect it to be 90. Thank goodness it isn't.
Yeah, she deserves a break.
Where did we left off again?
They are on skill evos, I think.
Okay, I rewatched it. Durga isn't dead weight on my tiger team. Pog. Ah yes, finally the queen with the line. I don't want to talk because drama. I don't know what line that is, but if you don't want to talk about it, that's completely fine. Oh, Durga's variant that she moves back forcefully by herself that I hate. And you can stop that through various means, but yeah, it can be annoying when you suddenly forget about it. The only one this banner I don't have, but I do love this skill evolution. She doesn't need Ikutoshi AR now, and CP charges Alice and guaranteed kill. Queen Supremacy. Even her CP attack is all area weapon. Show has SA level 19. Oh my god, does he though? Where is she?
Yeah.
Can we ask him to get a video?
I don't think she'll plays the game for gameplay necessarily. He's obviously trying to wail for a Labe. But then instead got Kuniyoshi and Durga bunch. That's the number experience for you.
unfortunate.
That's
Thank goodness I stopped at 46 on Huma.
alright. Well, maybe next Valentine's you'll max them. Let's move on to the next.
No.
Alright, we're covering the final Evo and the final topic of this discussion. Zalgus will take it away with Kuniyoshi's skill evolution. Go ahead.
I feel like this stream has gone on way too long. Anyway, so Kuniyoshi got a skill evo, which for some reason it didn't increase his rates at all. So it buffed his remove buff, but only in the spread. If you could bring up the thingy, has its terrible rate of 20 to 40%, but now it removes buffs adjacent to enemies hit as well. So in the center tile, you can remove potentially up to 5 buffs. You know, assuming you hit 40% repeatedly, it's better to consider it more as 5 chances at removing a buff. So it's a pretty large spread. I didn't actually look into other spreads, unfortunately, but having extra chances is definitely nice for purging a lot of buffs at once. The remove buff rate is still being low, but it's actually about standard for our remove buff rates. I actually looked it up recently, and they do hover around 40-50%, unfortunately. But yeah, you can go back to the previous one now because this isn't too. I only made the graphic for this just to illustrate. As I wait for it to turn back. Anyway, so nullified debuff is the same for some reason. I don't know why they didn't buff that either, because the rate is kind of low. But the new thing they gave him that is important is non-buff weakening. When an enemy has non-buff weakening, as long as they do not hold a removable buff, they will take 2.5 times damage. It's at a pretty nice rate of 90%, because, of course. So this is useful just for being another source of stackable damage, and obviously Kuniyoshi's based around denying enemy buffs with a lot of remove buff and nullify buff, so that works well. And since you get the initiative, unless the enemy has like a enemy face style or when appearing buff, you'll always get the you'll always benefit from non-buff weakening on turn 1 at least. He also has buff reversal immunity for some reason, but that's I feel like that's more thematic than anything to go with the buff theme, I guess. But anyway, so non-buff weakening works well with pretty much anyone who wants to do damage as just a damage amping skill or a debuff, but you could also use it with people who are capable of removing buffs reliably or removing a lot of buffs, or both preferably. Let me bring up my list. Let's see. Eta 4 with his Evo can remove all buffs from one unit. So Eta will pretty much just destroy that unit, which is pretty much what he's designed to do. Daikoku 5 has a 60% board steal every, 2 turns? Or was it 3 turns?
Two turns. It's 2 turns.
Okay, yeah, so Daikoku would benefit from that, since, well, I wouldn't say benefit, but he would synergize with it since he can facilitate it. And Taramite 4's Evo allows her to remove up to 3 buffs at once, so that's cool as well. Still at 40% rate, unfortunately, but anyway. There are also a few units who are capable of removing all buffs at once, besides Eta 4. There's Valentine's Huckman and Chajikura's CS, and there's Valentine's Snow, so they could do it as well. Work well with this. But yeah, I intentionally didn't say that. But yeah, it's a decent Evo. It goes with the theme of Kuniyoshi not wanting any buffs on the enemy team, so it can definitely work well in plenty of teams. That's all.
Alright. Well, any thoughts, Irby? Do you want to add a trailing thought? AR's units to bring with?
No, not a single thought here. My mind is empty.
Irby being very honest this stream.
I am being very honest. I don't really. I didn't really care too much about these units, to be honest. I think it's pretty neat that he got something. Kuniyoshi at least got something new and unique. With the non-buff weakening.
Well, here's the thought that I literally just thought of right now. Shiva, right? It'd be pretty good. It's irremovable and it removes all buffs.
That's the true end game. Is it a non-removable buff?
It says right there, removable.
Yes, it's irremovable. Oh,
nice. Oh, the synergy.
Oh my god! Finally, I can't believe it. I need to roll for Nightmare Kuniyoshi now.
We're gonna get to the point where it's just all about stacking irremovable buffs and debuffs, and then Shiva blows everyone up.
Yeah, that's the true endgame. We thought Shiva was kind of meh, but now it's going to become the meta someday.
You just need 2 5-stars.
One of them's limited.
Oh god. And one of them, like, the same one no one ever puts up except for this event. Jesus Christ.
Hey, I have him up.
For now. Well, yeah, we'll see.
I had him up before the event.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. Well, I never look at another except for Irby's. I'm fucking dead. But yeah.
Well then, how do you know no one puts him up then?
Because I don't usually see them, and there was a lot more when it first released, and then they pretty much all disappeared immediately after. But I haven't checked it in a while. So yeah. Anyways, Shiva, Kuniyoshi. That's pretty much what this Evo's about.
I mean, Nether is filled with Tinderlos right now anyway, so...
Yeah. I think it's kind of like, please, no, change Tinderlos back. Unless it's needed.
I do not need all these Tinderloses.
Yeah, you can't benefit from them on turn 1.
Notes can stay. He already seeded this for some reason, but...
It's already seeded, so that one can stay.
Alright, I guess that's all our thoughts, so go ahead and read the comments.
Don't wail, kids. Yeah, don't. Imagine wailing. Up arrow thing, whose name I forget. The Fairy King himself. Yes, that's right. I got money, I wail. Yeah, don't do that hidden. Consider not wailing. Kuniyoshi-san, oh whoa. Kuniyoshi said no, but only sometimes. Yes, that's... with those rates. I seriously don't get why they didn't improve his rates a smidge. I mean, I guess the spread is good, but yeah.
Spread is kind of like an upgrade.
Yeah, I guess it gives him way more procs, up to 5 more procs. That's technically an increase in probability. It's kind of. And good on you.
It's like Triton evasion. The more people you hit, the more chances you have to land it.
Well, it depends on if it actually spreads how you want. But, good on you, Hinwall. Seriously, why'd they have me give him Wolf's special debuff, Shake my head. Actually, it's not the same thing. Wolf has non-debuff weakening when they are not holding a debuff. Then they take more damage. This is non-buff weakening. I actually forget if Wolf's is irremovable. I actually have the page open, so...
For sure, all those strength and weakness things are irremovable.
Yeah, all of that is usually irremovable.
Okay. I forget if non-debuff or a non-buff, removable buffs. Okay, so I was going to say maybe they can synergize together for a moment, but never mind, because they don't go with each other. Oh well. But yeah, it's not the same thing, so they can stack. Weird he doesn't have a rate up. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't increase his rates. At least non-buff weakening has a good rate. While all of the variants plus out 4 star has all the same CP attack. Or CS attack. What, possession? Wait.
Just like
I think he means all range. No, I think he means all range.
Oh yeah, this is an all range banner, except
up the units that didn't get.
Yeah. Why did? Oh yeah, I was gonna make the joke that that Alp AR was his Evo.
I mean, it pretty much is.
The when appearing CP1.
But yeah, I was mentioning that Alp AR was essentially like the Alice AR for Alice advantage against Dazzle, because they didn't want to bother giving Halloween else another Evo. That was actually good.
Oh, they should have.
Yeah.
Kuniyoshi says no to buffs. What was it, Irby?
Well, at least she got one. I didn't even get it.
Technically,
Yeah.
she had the best Evo out of the batch, where everyone else's was like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't even remember Kuchi's and
Arslan.
Uplands.
They got attack up and guns. That
Xmas Aegir. What about him?
It is a mystery.
You can remove buffs as well on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I could have also said Tezcatli Poker because he removes buffs when moving, but also to his allies. I didn't realize. So I already wait. That was a double post. I always knew Kuniyoshi was going to side with Shiva. Yes, it's meant to be. He'd be better if he was a furry. I think he's fine like this. I think it's funnier. Okay, I'll put back regular Chono.
No,
Let
no,
the
don't
trigger
do that.
away.
I don't actually have a regular Chono 5 on my list, so
I would consider that lucky.
rip stream buffer. Oh wait, I meant I always knew Shiva was a furry. Yes, Shiva's a furry. Oh, I can't read that, sorry. No, it's fine, they have similar titles. Alp saying "Hey you" in Japanese, it's so cute. Kuniyoshi gets a C- from me. He is kind of niche, and him being 5-star doesn't help his best skill have a low rate, and his best partner is another 5-star. Well, I wouldn't say Shiva's his best partner. I would say it's a good partner, but he can pretty much partner with
Yeah, when we bring up these synergies, half the time they're pretty much just meme synergies, not actually good teaching.
One day this synergy will be useful. One day we
Let's
have a
go Kuniyoshi and Mephistopheles and Shiva, the ultimate team.
Let's
actually does quite a
go.
lot of damage already.
True damage.
But I guess don't pair Kuni with Arslan and Ryota, I guess, because they give buffs to enemies.
Yeah, and use the AR that gives blessing. All the units are blessing to enemies like Babylon and
Oh, don't pair him with Durga either, because Durga
Yeah,
gives rage. But yeah, that's about it.
Alright, then I will just close the assets and pull out the end card. Thank you for joining us today. This was honestly a discussion that didn't quite need to
It was
go
a
on this
nightmare.
long, but it was a... Sorry, Darby, what?
true nightmare. And Milk said one day people will use Eta 4 in Clearfit.
There were multiple times where like, okay, I'm gonna use 8 to 4 here, and then I was like, wow, this sucks. Time to use something else. So at least I used 8 to 5 one time. But yeah, thank you for joining us today. The 3 stars particularly good, so I'd recommend just pulling the AR banner just once, just because the 3 stars are neat. Give you a lot more utility and are pretty much super easy to get. 4 stars and 5 stars, it'll really depend on your use cases. For people that like lore, 4-star, and for people like pulling or arousal for some reason, want to upgrade because like more, the 5 stars are for you. What are your overall thoughts on this reprinted event, you guys? Between the banners and the shop and the challenge quests and all sorts of related content, what do you think?
I think it was pretty weak in the sense that I think they could have given the units and ARs a lot more love. That is, and
They could have given
very-
Alp and Licht an Evo.
Yeah. I was extremely disappointed by that. It's kind of like,
I just thought it was funny. It was obvious they needed the Evos the most, and yet they were the only ones that didn't get it. And you can't say it's because they only give like either the variants or the regulars Evos, because they gave both Ton Griesner and Christmas Pollux Evos for their Christmas reprint.
yeah, and they did something even weirder last time with instead of giving Beachside Kotaro an evolution, they gave regular Kotaro for some reason.
Yeah, because Kotaro 4 obviously deserved a lot more.
no, but what I meant was like Kotaro wasn't even in the banner. Kotaro 5, so it was kind of weird. I found that a bit weird, but yeah, he needed the evolution, but it
Yeah.
was pretty weird. So it's not like they can't give permanent units evolutions.
I mean, they did it for Jiangxi as well too, didn't they? They didn't buff the Jiangxi units themselves per se,
yeah.
but they buffed the regular
Babylon.
Tetsuox and Babylon. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure who uses Babylon nowadays, but like Tetsuox seems to have a pretty nice Evo. So the fact that they exist, but Laven now has been snubbed is hilarious. I can't even feel bad. It's just too funny.
I don't think we referenced it nearly enough in this video.
Just because they don't exist. Just like that duel we saw from the beginning. Any chances of the year gone with the wind. But yeah, my thoughts for this overall event is I'm glad it's a lot more relaxed. I've been really bummed with all the constant streaming with the coin stuff, and now we get to relax with barely any effort content. So what is a negative for most people, I say, is bring it on. It's time for me to hibernate forever.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, Elvis?
Yeah, it's a. I mean, the 3-star ARs, it was pleasantly surprising to see that they were better than usual. But the Evos weren't like that impressive. I'm glad that Kuniyoshi is still kind of poops on the grind quests even harder now. So that's cool, I guess. And I guess having the new Alchemist is cool. The Panda Alchemist is the best.
Oh yeah.
But
Probably my favorite design of them all. Even though I like Red Pandas the most. The Panda design is just really delicious.
The Rhino Alchemist is the best one that isn't the penguin.
Okay.
Penguin.
I guess Penguin's wrong story, but yeah, the Rhino is pretty cute too.
The giraffe isn't.
I hate the giraffe.
You guys
Sorry.
are mean.
The most controversial take of the stream. I don't like the giraffe.
Yeah, I don't really like him. Maybe you can reenact that one video with the pole. I don't know if you've seen that one, Obi.
Oh.
No, I'm not.
I'll send it later. Yeah, besides that, it's... They should have given Alpha and Laven Evo, and then I would have been happy with the event, probably. Oh, by the way, remember, you said the shop, so everyone remember to buy the blossoms from the shop, so you can spend all year with, what was it, 20 extra HP and attack points.
Right, they release more in events, and so we never have to buy them from Anbari's shop again, which was clearly a ripoff ever since day one, but whatever. Okay, so if that's
honestly,
what?
Something else to say about this event. I guess my disappointment with the event is good because it means I will be pleasantly surprised probably by the new event that is coming.
Can only go up from here.
It can only go up from. It can only go up from here, exactly. So let's go. Let's see.
Oh yeah, they also didn't release the special quest translations until like next week for some reason.
It's fine. Who cares about special quests?
It's just like it was the event for real. We have to wait till the end of the event.
Yeah, it's whatever. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go read the comments and then close the stream. C-. One day people will use 8 to 4 clears. Kuniyoshi for Sosceles, Meta Eel. There are also other units that kind of do his job with lower cost, both literally and stone-wise. Yeah, like Zao's just better at denying buffs. Having both same thing, but I think at a slightly better proc rate. Although Kuniyoshi, I guess, does like damage and defense on top of that. And, yay! I realized Arousal is becoming is because Gunzo's tits. All right.
Didn't you miss Evandil's comment?
Pair Kuni with combo. Oh yeah, that'd be pretty good, I guess. But
I don't know if I'd say it's good. Well, not
if
for
you
the
want
buff.
to remove buffs, like 10 buffs on a single target, sure.
Yeah, that's about it. But it doesn't synergize with
It could
his
happen.
non-buff weakening because it's when attacking, so he already gets the bit of benefit.
I realized Arousal because Tamamura chest. The fuck? You like some the same comment twice except with different names, alright. I'm truly waiting for his beachside evolutions. Yeah, same. Let's buff Kotaro one more time. Yes, that's Blast Brain JK. Not sure what you're referring to.
Probably giraffe.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I feel bad for the fucking giraffe. Kind of reminds me of like the third unpopular Pokemon that happens in every generation. Like fucking, Ralladin, Litten, and then whatever the forgotten water type was. Panda, Alchemist, and Panda. Forget Up. I mean, LifeWonders certainly did. Wait till
all things considered, the Panda Alchemist is the best alchemist in terms of the kit because Infernal multiplier, let's go.
Yeah, with that low massive damage attack that's larger than HP, for sure. Very good meme. And you see it. Wait till the end of the event. That's like a whole story event to do. I mean, what else is there to wait for? If there was nothing to wait for, then it was just be everyone complaining for the next 2 weeks of nothing to look forward to. Anyway, that concludes the stream. Thank you for joining us today, and we will be on our way now. Alright, on 3, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Bye!
Bye!